Good morning, happy holidays, and Habari Gani to all those celebrating Kwanzaa this year. Reporting by myself right now, recording, sorry. Well, I've been doing a bit of recording and reporting today as I haven't been able to get in touch with the Lush V. He should be in good hands. I spoke to him briefly yesterday, but we are currently facing a natural disaster here in Buffalo, New York. Uh, 34,000 homes have been without power since Friday afternoon, Friday evening. The storm, not so many things out. Uh, Power, some people are without heat. People had to abandon their cars because the snow got so bad, trying to make last minute stops or just plain underestimating how intense and serious the storm was. Uh, and, this episode is definitely going to speak on emergency plans and how, if a city fails, the black neighborhoods are going to suffer considerably more than their suburban counterparts or areas where, um, you know, their demographic haven't been affected by the same types of barriers we face because we are black. So, a lot of the Buffalo's east side, is historically black, and a lot of the homes, most of the homes, too many of the homes are without the proper infrastructure to be protected against these types of storms. So the wind was blowing 40 to 70 degrees all throughout the weekend, like just did not stop. Like the wind kept blowing. Like it only just slowed down maybe yesterday afternoon or so. And it happens to be snowing again today being Monday, the 26th. So um, even my parents had to leave their home. They have a nice cozy home, but the power got knocked out. And they had to leave one of our dogs behind. I think he's all right at the moment, but he's been about maybe a day and a half without water. So but we can't check on him because even the house they went to uh doesn't have the streets plowed. So they're not able to get back to home. I did hear that the street did get plowed, but again, the street that their home is on got plowed. The street that they're visiting did not get plowed. So what happens, a lot of the main streets will get plowed, but the side streets can't get plowed. Not only just because of the staff being stretched so thin, but because of people who had abandoned their cars, abandoned them in odd places that makes it very hard for um plows and other vehicles to get by. So whether it's a large vehicle plow or a personal vehicle plow, it's hard either way because of the abandoned cars. Furthermore, there was a travel ban, so people were not allowed to be out driving, not allowed to be out walking for the most part. Um, but people did what they have to do. But those who may have gotten pulled over or couldn't proceed because the snow was so bad had to remain within their cars, charging their batteries or using it for warmth. Some people just plain left their cars and tried to march home. Um, as far as the death tolls, there's been a lot of cases, and a lot being about 30, and that's the ones that they found, either finding people buried under the snow who succumbed to frostbite or exhaustion, um, ages ranging from 22 to 93. People both inside of homes and outside of homes. Some people passed because of carbon monoxide poisoning because their exhaust was blocked and they didn't know it. Perhaps they were either too old to go and check or just didn't know their exhaust was blocked for the furnace. People who were washing clothes, if the same exhaust gets blocked, then carbon monoxide poisoning. Some people who have medical conditions who needed emergency response, they couldn't get emergency help because the people who come for emergency help were also delayed or just couldn't reach the house in time. In addition, there's fires going off because of the improper utilization of heating tools and other tools. So firemen have a hard time getting to people. So it's really just been a mess. And this is all from like Saturday and Sunday. These were being reported. I just checked the news, but yeah. In addition, Sorry, something's playing right now. Don't know what that is. Oh, that's an ad from some other thing I was on. Um, excuse me. So around, let's say Saturday mid-afternoon, people started looting, and a lot of the looting was done on Buffalo's east side. Most of it to places like Family Dollar, um, Dollar General, 7-Elevens, which there aren't really that many 7-Elevens on the east side and the west side. Don't get me wrong, there's other places where this is happening too. People are taking advantage, but that's what happens when people have to go without. And I will speak more on the city's emergency plan. But yeah, so people are looting and people have all different types of feelings towards it. I know a lot of people who haven't had to go without, think that looters are just, oh, they're all just trying to steal TVs and oh, they're gonna mess up the economy or whatever, ideas they have. But um this all comes from need, it all extends from poverty. And yes, it's greed, but at the same time, if there's people who need diapers and baby formula and medical supplies. And if no one else can get them to them, then someone else is going to either they themselves are going to go take what they have to for their own, or someone else's, a loved one survival, or someone's going to steal it and then boost it to the streets, however they do, So, um, so trying to turn all these things into a conversation on Afrofuturism and how our existence could look in the future, either if we fix these things or if we don't fix these things. Black people are disproportionately affected by climate change, whether it is overheating or, situations like this where the snow blows so hard that it gets between the window cracks and gets between the door cracks of this home that your great grandmother bought in 1940. You're still living in it. It's falling apart. You haven't had the proper resources to restore it. Maybe some family members have been affected by, uh, poverty, health conditions, um, drug abuse, violence, thefts, all these different things that seem to uh, go up for our communities, leaving generations not being able to take care of our home properly. And now that home is blowing down. There are trees that weren't trimmed properly, that fell onto the house or onto the cars or onto, whatever, overgrown grass breaking through the foundations of the house. So, those are the types of things that are on my mind when I speak about climate justice and how our people are being affected. On the flip side, when you have extreme heat, you don't have grass growing properly, you don't have trees growing properly. Um, Empty lots kind of just soaking up the heat, and lack of trees also warming up the general temperature in an urban area. I think a hair plow, but I don't know which way is going. I don't know who it's serving, but I know it's not going to be enough right now. Um, so overheating leading to exhaustion, accelerating health conditions like asthma. Um, a lot of people, Black people, are anemic, have anemic traits, and either they get too cold in the wintertime or they're affected strangely in the summer. And just overall the temperature going up, just leading to so many different problems. Also, not just trees giving off the oxygen, but normal plants giving off the oxygen. So also, just because the list keeps going on, proper foliage or vegetables, fruits, plants, crops that could sustain people. Wow, that is the actual plow going past my house. I don't know how they made it past that car that was abandoned, but they did. I'm kind of curious to see exactly what they're doing, but I'll check it out soon enough. Um, but yes, so with the Galactic tribe, I spoke to a couple of the members earlier today, and we suggested having conversations about survival and emergency responses. The city, the mayor makes a statement. It reaches a certain number of the population, but a lot of people are getting their news from social media, and I didn't see anything. And I use social media a moderate amount, but I still didn't see anything regarding how serious the storm was. Usually it comes from a parent or a relative who's watching the news, and they're saying, hey, I saw on the TV that Mayor Brown said to stay out the streets, do not go outside, do not treat this storm like it's you know, a regular storm, right? In Buffalo, we're used to the snow and everything. We're real tough about it. We try to shrug off 5 inches of snow like it ain't nothing, but this was an actual storm. And just to go over the history of Buffalo storms, there was one in 1977 that almost any Buffalonian over the age of, let's say, 40 will reference because of how insane it was. And they've got pictures of them standing on top of snow, being over their cars and light poles and, all these different things that happened. I don't even know the date of when that blizzard was. Another storm was the October Surprise, which I was alive for. That happened in 2000 and I want to say 2007, 2008. And that happened in October. We were hit with a blizzard, extreme winds, knocking down trees, power going out. I remember I was living in a suburban area at the time and our power still went out. And we actually had to go to the east side to, stay with my grandmother to, have power and everything. So that was kind of nuts. But I think we recovered from that one relatively well because there weren't any following storms after that. But I think this one is probably more intense than that one, simply because the cleanup was a bit easier. People also weren't in high traffic mode. That's the middle of October. This is Christmas weekend, holiday weekend. And people already had plans to move or in the process of, getting gifts or getting food supplies the day before Christmas. People coming in from out of town, people leaving town. And so, that's kind of just compounded the amount of troubles that we usually have when these storms happen. In addition to the storm itself being more intense and, causing various amounts of damage. But just to circle back to the emergency plan, there just weren't enough things. And I thought to myself, whenever there is an Amber Alert, you get a little chirp to your phone that says, oh, this person's missing. Look out for this car. Look out for this. Sometimes we'll have like a weather advisory. Like I've gotten them before, but usually it's for something small, like a rain or a flood hazard. It's rare that I get something that's something like this. And, regardless of how storms have been in the past, like this is one that everybody should have known about. Everybody should have been warned. Everybody should, you know what I mean? Like just like the Black Panther in Wakanda, they have the Kimoyo that chirps everything to everybody's phone. The same thing would have happened. And if we were in Wakanda, my favorite thing to say, if in Wakanda, they have our emergency response. Ooh, everybody knows about it. Everybody gets the same message. There's no confusion about it. Because the same thing that's going to report that is the same thing that pretty much, operates your life, so, but yeah, so that, and, people on social media, various Facebook groups, Instagram group. I don't know if Instagram has groups, but, again, there just wasn't enough notice for how serious this storm was. Fortunately, I was able to go to the store and stock up on groceries. I mean, I was kind of stocked up already, but stocked up even more because I was unaware of how intense things were going to be. And regularly, my household, we keep a surplus of paper towel and toilet paper, a couple canned goods. We're not like a bomb shelter ready type of environment, but, we do have a little bit of protection. So again, I think the Galactic Tribe in the future, we're going to explore safety measures, making sure that our people know what to do in emergency situation like this or something similar. Making sure, hey, this is how you fortify your home in the event of a storm, of a natural disaster. This is what you need. This is the checklist of things you need to look at for your home. These are the checklist of things you need to look at for your car, because some people just don't know. We're worried about a lot of other things. There's a lot of other things that take advantage of our of our consciousness, even our subconsciousness. Being Black people, whether it is the violence, constant violence against our people, or the constant violence within, that we do to ourselves, that we do to each other. And excuse me, these things tend to just take advantage sometimes, and we focus on trying to release those things either through the use of recreational drugs or use of illegal drugs, or just trying to escape the many challenges that we face. And so some things like changing your tires or getting your oil changed or a proper inspection of your home, those things might slip your mind because there's so many other things going on that you think about. And so these types of seminars could be immensely beneficial, because some people either just don't know or they forget. Some people learn these things and then just aren't able to keep up with it, maybe because they move place to place and don't see the point of fortifying an apartment, even if it is like a 1-bedroom tiny 500-foot square. I don't even know what that means. I need to know that, but some people just, it slips their mind, and they're not able to respond properly. So even if you do have a vulnerability, at least having the materials to take care of your home. And we're not talking about, hey, here's how to insulate your home. We're talking about, these are the cracks in your wall that could lead to pest infestations, or just deterioration, and just compounding your issues furthermore. And even like survival skills, I think that Black communities definitely, we need to remind ourselves how much we've been able to survive all these years. We're talking centuries of our people being able to survive in environments that weren't survivable, that wouldn't be survivable for any other group, despite ethnicity. Being able to carry seeds in your hair so that you can plant them when you get to wherever you're going, or feed yourself, being able to live off the power of a few seeds that are woven into your hair. Being able to weave a map onto somebody's head through braiding of how to escape plantations, how to escape slave catchers, predators, being able to blend in with the natural environment so that you remain hidden when you're being hunted, how to throw off the scents of dogs, how to throw off the tracking skills of the predators, and colonizers, speaking in codes, speaking in tongues. Yeah, just so many different ways that we were able to survive. We have to remember that that's only a part of our history. We were surviving immensely of various, not even surviving, we were thriving, right? We were thriving in our respective motherlands, whether you believe your DNA came from America or Africa, wherever, us being able to use the natural world in order to sustain ourselves and protect ourselves. So getting back to that, to I think that's a big reminder, especially as we're here in the season of Kwanzaa, and remembering the Nguzo Saba and what that means to us, being able to remember these qualities and practice these qualities for the future, so that we can make the proper choices and have the proper conversations, and engage each other properly for the next day and the days after. So I personally keep a survival guide in my car in case I happen to be stranded in my car. I usually keep some snacks and some money in there in case something happens. Always keeping bottles of water in the car is highly necessary. And forms of protection, whether it is a knife or a small blunt object that is wieldable in an emergency situation, how to protect yourself if you don't have a gun permit, if you don't have a gun, because having a legal gun will, if you get caught using it, even if in self-defense, you still could be charged with those types of things. I have to look at the law to be sure and verify that, but to my knowledge or my expectation is that that could lead to an issue. So, but yes, how to warm your house if you don't have a furnace, how to what are some just those little life hack things, if you go online and you look up a life hack for this, or if you're scrolling through social media, especially TikTok, and you get a life hack on how to heat your home without fire, or how to heat your home without electricity, how to stretch out a meal, how to light fires without matches, um what devices are priority or which ones are not, what things come as a priority when you're in survival mode, locking or not using your fridge, making sure it stays closed, how to use the snow to preserve food, what foods could be preserved and how they could be preserved, using your natural environment or whatever tools are available to you at the time. Those types of conversations, should be regular, should be held throughout the year for people of all ages, not just people who are homeowners or not just people who have apartments, people who take care of people who have, those households, young people whose parents may not even know but who, the young kids have the accessibility to visit a certain program, or just, because the parents are away at work or bouncing between jobs or medical conditions, whatever stopped them from getting the knowledge. At least the kids can have the knowledge to something to take home for conversation at dinner, or just a random conversation. You never know what a kid can bring to the table. And that's why kids are so important for our future, for our present. So those are certainly things that have to be considered for, not just a galactic tribe, but places everywhere, whether you live in a place that's susceptible to tornadoes or earthquakes, typhoons, tsunamis, hurricanes. Though you have to have backup plans, because the fact of the matter is, people of other ethnicities could be more prepared because they have more access to resources, whether it is because of economics or just a cultural practice or whatnot. These things we have to remind ourselves, like, yo, so yes, Black people, y'all were doing this. Y'all were making things out of mud bricks. Y'all were the first ones with this type of technology. Y'all were the first ones, harvesting food the proper ways. And you had all these sophisticated ways of approaching this thing we call life. So there's ways that you can get back to that. Remind yourself who you are. Show them who you are, right? That's right there on our logo. Show them who you are. Show each other. Show us. Them could be anybody. Them could be your next door neighbor. Them could be your mama. Them could be your great granddaddy. Them could be your ancestors, right? Showing your ancestors, hey, I remember who I am, and therefore this is what empowers me. This is what's going to sustain my bloodline, is by remembering who I am. I'm going to show you that I can, whether you have caused a traumatic situation that affected me generations later. I'm going to either erase, reverse, or dissemble that and build upon it. I'm not going to forget it because it's made me who I am, but I'm going to build and keep building. So that's the type of attitude I think that a lot of people should have. And I certainly encourage you who are listening to take these things home, if you're in your home, or take these things with you, and just have a time with yourself to remember yourself, especially in situations like these where I have family members who have been without power for about 3 days now. And me, I've been trying to make jokes on social media to kind of ease the tension that I'm feeling, and the just downright sadness, for people I care about who are suffering because it's like this. And I mean, it's not even just because it's the holidays. It's because they have kids who they can't who they feel they can't protect properly. Kids who have to go without. And we're not talking, oh, they can't charge their iPad. No, you can't get the food. You can't be comfortable. And this is entire days we're talking about. Anybody who's gone through this thing definitely knows exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm painting a picture for those who, just need to see a picture of what's been going on and the broader scope of things. So, but yes, I'm even encouraging my friends, to especially those who are parents. Like, y'all are taking care of y'all kids. Y'all are doing everything you can, whether you have whatever type of dramas or challenges that you face. If you want to take care of your kids and you're doing it, then you have the power, right? You have the power. You should remember who you are. You got to show them who you are. You got to show them young kids, yo, listen, I'm the parent. I'm going to protect you no matter what. And kids remember that. Uh, a soft moment that often brings me, almost, it just makes my eyes water a little bit, is my mom. There was a situation where we couldn't, cover a particular bill and had to heat the house up with the eyes on the stove. And Lupe Fiasco, he has a song called uh, "I'm Beaming," and he does a double entendre with the eyes on the stove, like how we used to keep the house warm. And this one time I stopped because even though I had heard the song, maybe I don't know, however many times I heard the song, I heard it multiple times before it just like hit me one day, and I was just like, wow. Like, I stopped rapping because I was rapping it, and then I just stopped. I'm like, whoa, wow. It just unlocked a certain memory for me. So, um, and it just made me appreciate my mother so much more because of that. Because she was single at the time, and it was myself and my sister, and we were in this new home, new environment, and it was just, a lot of different things going on. But yeah, so, and my little dog too. Can't forget my little dog. Shout out to Gizmo. He's watching me up from doggy heaven right now, and always. But yeah, those are the things I want us to remember. And also, with it being Kwanzaa, I know Lelouch wanted to have a Kwanzaa episode. I definitely wanted to talk more about it because he's never celebrated Kwanzaa before. I've been celebrating Kwanzaa for about almost a decade, consistently. I would say that I've gotten more involved with it within the past 5 years. Everything from hosting Kwanzaa to going to various nights. And before that, before actually hosting, it was me going to various nights, sometimes not all seven, often not all seven, but being involved with the community that does Kwanzaa outside of the 7 days in December. But yeah, I hosted last year. I'll be hosting again this year. The Wakanda Alliance program will be hosting the Children's Day. Depending, I don't know at this point. We're supposed to host it on the 31st December, which is New Year's Eve in the afternoon. But the way it's looking, I'm not sure how the city's going to recover just yet. So we'll have to stay tuned on for that. But yes, being very involved with Kwanzaa it's a time to look forward to, the same way I look forward to Juneteenth. In Buffalo in particular, our community, when it comes to leading consciousness and celebrating year round, our blackness, but also showing out and showing up on Juneteenth and Kwanzaa. We do it a very great way, but I still see a lack of I just see a lack. I think that more people should get involved with it. And it's always like, and I'm not trying to put the Kente hat on, even though I don't mind wearing it when I need to. But, how many people get involved with other holidays that don't have to do with enriching your people? How they feed into, whatever's the catchy thing. And of course, it's because the way that things are promoted, everybody knows about 4th of July. Everybody knows about President's Day. Everybody knows about Memorial Day, Veterans Day, Christmas, Halloween, Valentine's Day. These things are promoted because people can make money. And I really can't think of a non-faith-based holiday that doesn't, or that that captures a way to educate and culturally motivate the way that Kwanzaa does, the way that Juneteenth does. Even though both are nuanced, a lot of people, will argue Juneteenth wasn't, the day of. It's just like a sick reminder that, people tried to keep us enslaved, after things were free. And even after we got free, we weren't, exactly free because we still got cheated and overworked and uh, preyed on, killed, stolen from, manipulated. So it is rough. And then with Kwanzaa, some people disagree with the founder, Dr. Karenga. Uh, I believe he was jailed because of a domestic violence situation or taking advantage of somebody. And then I think he created Kwanzaa, the idea of it while he was imprisoned, and then started to change his life around. I have to look up exactly what his biography was, but I was asking some friends, hey, why don't you celebrate Kwanzaa? And one of the ladies said, because the founder was an RIP IST, and that made me think, wow, okay. Well, my first initial reaction was, okay, so if we're doing holiday origins, let me tell y'all how I felt when y'all were dressed up in Halloween. And I celebrate Halloween too. And, even with Christmas, people, buy their gifts or whatever. And some people just see it as straight capitalism. Other people see it as, time to be around family. But some people will not let you want to celebrate because you're with family. They want to remind you, oh, you're falling into a capitalist trap, or, those types of conversations. Um, but that's why I go harder for Kwanzaa. So I go so hard with Kwanzaa, and I'm just like, okay, y'all spent this all the year round doing these types of things, but when it comes time for a holiday that you don't need to buy anything for, you don't need to really spend any money. I mean, unless you're going to the vendors or you're donating to the Kwanzaa committees who keep the festivities going, you just have to show up and be, educated and entertained for a while. People are going to be drumming, dancing, performing music, performing poetry, showcasing their art, showcasing their craft. And they do it whether it's in person or virtual. The committee does a great job of trying to restructure their approach, if necessary. But of course, they need more hands. They need more bodies on these projects to keep them going, to keep them to do the dang thing. You know what I mean? Like, to make sure the calls are called, make sure people are being called properly, make sure the vendors are called, make sure the special guests are called, make sure people who can show up called, political members called, schools being involved, families being involved, like all these different types of things, newsletters, promotion, all a lot of the stuff they do. They get a little bit of funding, but it's really just it's not enough for what it should be. Like, it's enough to get things done, but it's not enough for what it should be. As much money that goes into other projects in this city, people could do a lot better supporting Kwanzaa because of the principle behind everything. No pun intended. Actually, no, that was pretty intended. I didn't intend for it, but it's intended. um, Yeah, I mean, and we're on the first day. The first day is Umoja. It's usually the biggest day. Usually people, we all crowd into a school or a large auditorium, and it's just a lot of great spirit in the air. We pour our libations. We call out the names of our ancestors or people who are on our hearts. We have two people who are presenting, a male and a female. They'll walk us through the Nguzo Saba and what each thing means. Performer comes in, we do a commercial break, we do all different types of things. And there's like the other events going on throughout the week. There's yoga events, there's kids events, there's special talks and everything. Like, it really could be, not to make it like commercialized and make it like a whole convention type of thing. It doesn't really need to be all that, but it can have similar qualities. And I would love to see the spirit more just in the city as a whole, certain Black-owned establishments acknowledging Kwanzaa. Our banners of the Nguzo Saba being hung and on our streets, on historically Black streets. I mean, it's hard to call with Buffalo because of the weather. Sometimes it's a bit of a challenge, but for the things that you can predict, if you're gonna open your store doors, have some little pamphlets on Kwanzaa, have some goodies for the kids. There's a whole bunch of different things, um, nonprofits or whatever people can hold, panel discussions, group discussions, those types of things, healing circles, uh, the whole nine. And even some of the new age blood, getting some young people in here, not saying like teenagers, but like people who are in their 20s. Oh man, I'm not in my 20s anymore. People who are in their 20s, being able to receive the torch properly and adding some new things that, especially those things that some of the older elders weren't really hip on or weren't really keen on. Some of them were like, when it comes to conversations about gender identity and sexual liberty, astrological, readings and all that stuff, even though that goes back pretty far, some people are still, um, very conservative when it comes to that. So, even though having those type of conversations so that you can, open the conversation up for the younger people, because that's what's on their minds. And if you leave it up to other uh entities to lead that, especially entities who are not aligned with the core beliefs of your culture, you are vulnerable to corruption and vulnerable to misinformation and just vulnerable to disassociation as well. So just keeping those things in mind, as we go forward. But Umoja is about unity, right? It's the first day, and it's one of my favorites because it ties everything together. You can't have anything without unity. You can't have the other principles without unity. You can't have self-determination. You can't have collective work responsibility. You can't have collective economics, right? I mean, and the word right there, collective, right? It's collective. The energy is collected and brought together, right? It's not just gathered. It's not just put in one place. It's collected and then it's put somewhere. Um, Creativity, purpose, faith, all these other principles, it starts with unity. It starts with us recognizing each other for who we are and being able to come together when it's needed and even when it's not needed, going the extra mile to help someone or reach out to someone just to say hey, right? Just to give somebody a dap, just to walk down the street and seeing another Black person and just giving them a heads up, giving them a nod, giving them a pound. What's up, King? What's up, brother? What's up, bro? What's up, fam? What's up, cuz? All these different euphemisms we could use with one another. Um, Being able to look beyond the struggle, especially when in the moment, right? That's when it really counts. When there's only a moment to make a decision, when there's a moment to um engage someone and either brighten up their day or stop them from making a foolish mistake. Um, Being able to say, let me stop judging this person. Let me stop judging this person the way that I've been misinformed to. Let me stop looking at this person like an N word. Let me not look at this person as an H word. Let me look at this person as if they have the greatest potential, as if they could be a millionaire if they wanted to, as if they could fix their error in their lives and really rise into their superiority. Let me look at that for just that moment. Let me not retaliate. Let me smile. Let me just do a welcoming gesture to ease that pain a little bit. Let me speak life into that person. Let me speak life into myself in the moment. Let that be infectious to me in the moment and help somebody out. Let me not yell. Let me not get frustrated. Let me not go on a Facebook post and start talking all types of crap, the little things, right? The little things. Um, and it's all a learning experience. We can be in our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s and still be learning, still trying to find out how we want to treat our fellow person. Doesn't matter how much money we have or don't have. Doesn't matter our status, doesn't matter our type of job, doesn't matter our marital situation, doesn't matter our gender position or whatnot. We're all learning, and we all have the potential to speak life into somebody who needs it when they need it. Right. And then yeah, just that's unity to me. That's unity. And it's making the things work. It's bringing the pieces together. It's finding out where your personal puzzle piece fits into another puzzle piece or a group's puzzle piece, and just really creating that union. Um, whether it takes a long time or whether it's just in the moment. So, I don't have a timer going because I'm recording on Zoom instead of StreamYard, but those are the things I wanted to bring to the conversation today. And I was just thinking, man, I don't know if I can fill up a whole 45 to an hour long episode by myself. But, when it comes to talking about these types of things, I guess I do have a knack for it. I mean, why else will we start the podcast? Quick announcements. Yeah, I mean, this is December 26th. The Galactic Tribe will return in February to the Buffalo area to continue our workshops. So we're going to open up with a all kids panel, right? We're going to let the kids have the conversation, hold the floor, and share their thoughts on their reality and their experiences. So that's going to be fantastic. We're also just going to do a welcome back event early February, just to, reintroduce ourselves essentially, and let everybody know, what the deal is and why we're here doing what we're doing and what we're here to bring. And also just to acknowledge, hey, we've been with y'all, in the background doing what we can. Shout out to Black Monarchy. That is a fashion boutique, African and just an African inspired fashion boutique here in Buffalo, New York. They were vandalized just a day or two after Thanksgiving, and had their cash register stolen. I don't know about the items. I think the cash register was the biggest thing, but they had to relocate. So we went there. That's the owner, one of the owners, Felicia. She is a sister of ours. So we reached out to her to check on her. We helped with a little bit of the cleanup, and then we offered her a order of protection, basically a little certificate that says, the Galactic Tribe, the Black Monarchy is under the protection of the Galactic Tribe. All right. So if anything happens, if there's a break-in or if there is some damage caused and we can help rectify the situation, we're going to be there. If somebody is acting a fool, if we find out that you acting a fool and you in these streets, we might have to come to you about it. You can take that however you want to, right? But we need to protect our businesses, right? Because there's always an enemy out there watching, trying to take us down. And it could be a developer trying to get the land that you're sitting on, or it could be a random person on the street who sees a nice thing in the window, decides to break your window. It could be somebody who talks to you crazy, just all these different types of things. We want our businesses to feel protected by a group, and it doesn't necessarily mean we're always going to help with money or respond with aggression. There's a lot of ways that we can help our businesses, but she really appreciated the gesture, and we appreciate her. If you're looking for anything, if you're in the Western New York area, I mean, she ships, I think, nationwide. So if you are looking for something, check out Black Monarchy at Shop Black Monarchy, Shop Black Monarchy on Instagram. I believe the website is also Shop Black Monarchy, but support that sister, support her family and everything they work for, because they're doing great things. Additionally, other businesses will be getting certificates, so we're looking forward to doing that. Just trying to recall anything we've been talking about, because man, the storm kind of knocked me off track. I'm supposed to we've got grants to write, we've got plans to make, and we got all different types to do. So I won't draw this out too long, but stay tuned with the Galactic Tribe. Go to our website at thegalactictribe.org. Sign up for our newsletter so you can get updates on everything we're doing. Sign up for our academy You go if you click on Academy, it'll take you to a virtual academy, which I'll be uploading some new content soon. You can subscribe for just $10 a month, and you'll get lessons. Still working on the schedule, but you'll be getting lessons on Black Panther content, Afrofuturistic content, and just all different types of things. So go check that out as well. If you want to support the Galactic Tribe, you can donate to our program. We're a 501c3. You can donate to Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All of the options are there on our website. If you work for a school in the Buffalo area and want us to do a visit or a pop-up or what have you, you can use our contact us link there at our website, or just reach out to us on a platform. If you know somebody who knows somebody who know me, holla. All right. If you have family, friends in Buffalo, please pray for them, check in on them. Because we could definitely use the energy over here. And if you are yourself are going through some challenges, just know that our thoughts are with you, whether it is weather related or just family stuff, personal stuff. Just know, hey, listen, we're here for you. That's what the tribe is all about. All right. So until next time, y'all be well out there, stay safe, keep a future forward. See you soon. Peace.